Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Empowerment with Elizabeth. Today I am here with my sweet new friend Kaylee. She's going to chat with us about being a state title holder and her prep for Miss America. So Kaylee, tell us a little bit about you.
My name's Kaylee Wolfensberger, and I am Miss Montana 2024, which is crazy to say. I am 20 years old, and I go to Montana State University where I'm studying business marketing, and I hope to one day work in sports marketing for the NFL. I've been involved in the Miss America organization for as long as I can remember. I absolutely love this program, and I couldn't be more excited to represent Montana on the Miss America stage, which is also so crazy to say. And my community service initiative is Healing Harmonies, but we'll get more into that. And yeah.
I love it. I love it. You said that you've been involved with MAO for forever. So talk to us about how you first got started. How were you introduced and how did it get you to where you are now?
Yeah, so my mom was kind of like a backstage helper for the girls. She helped with hair and makeup and uh, wardrobe, just getting them on stage. And when I was young, I got to go with her and sit in the audience while she did that. So I watched them forever, and I always admired those girls, and I really knew it was something I wanted to do. But I've only competed in the Miss America organization 3 times, and this was my first time competing in Miss. So it feels surreal to me that I was able to take the title on my first try, but I'm just so excited and so grateful.
I love it. I love it. And obviously, a big part of, competing is your talent. So talk to us about what your talent is, what you've been doing with it, and how you go about selecting a piece for state and then now Miss America.
I play the piano. I'm a pianist, and I have been playing since I was 8 years old. And I feel very fortunate that I am able to play music and I had that opportunity growing up. And for picking my piece for Miss Montana, I chose something that was a little technical, something that I think would play well on stage. And going into Miss America, I get this shot once. I get to play the piano on the Miss America stage once. So I'm really choosing something that I connect with, and I'm working on that right now. So I'm really excited.
I love it. I love it. And obviously that's just one phase of competition, but I want to know what your favorite phase of competition is. So tell us what your favorite phase is and a little bit about why.
It's a toss up for me. I love interview because it's your first impression and you get to connect with the judges one on one and really get to share your story. But I also love fitness because it's so high energy. And I think that I'm a really energetic person. And I just love to get on stage, a little hairography, whip your hair around, walk across the stage. And I think that I probably feel just the most confident in fitness, but I think I feel the most adrenaline rush in interview.
Yeah, I love that. And a big part of interview too is your CSI. So talk to us about your CSI, what you've been doing with it, and what your plans are for this year with it.
My CSI is called Healing Harmonies, and it's about empowering underfunded youth through music education. Like I said earlier, I feel very fortunate that I was able to have music education growing up. And I live in Bozeman right now, and they have a 14.7% poverty rate, which is higher than the national and the Montana average. So I saw a lack of music education amongst kids in my community. So that's why I chose my CSI. And going forward, I really want to help these kids for one, collect instruments so they can play instruments because that's a big part. And two, I would love to give music lessons, which is something I'm working on right now, giving 2 or 3 music lessons a week for free so that kids can really have that opportunity. And I just think going forward, a big part of my CSI is promoting the importance of music in children's lives because I think a lot of people think it's not as important as it is, but it helps foster creativity and it actually helps um, mental and emotional growth in kids, which is really important when they're living in poverty because kids living in poverty are 9 times more likely to experience trauma. And trauma can really be expressed, and you can heal through your trauma through music.
Yeah, absolutely. Super cool. Okay, toughest question, I won't lie. I want to know why you think the judges selected you specifically to represent the state this year.
I competed with seven amazing women, and it's crazy to me that they chose me because everyone in that lineup was phenomenal, phenomenally talented, phenomenally well spoken. And I think that the reason they really chose me was because I think I really expressed um, my want for the job, that I was ready to be Miss Montana. And this is why I wanted to be Miss Montana. And I really think that came through in my interview, which is another reason why I love interviews so much because it's where they really get to know you and your heart.
Yeah. And obviously, up next is Miss America, like we've talked about. So, what does your prep look like? What have you been focusing on?
Oh my goodness, I've only had my title for a week and 2 days. So maybe a week and 3 days. So I mean, everything's kind of still getting in the groove a little bit, but I've already started looking for my talent song, which I'm hoping to find this week and get started because 5 months is actually really not that much time. Um, and I've just been, I mean, I have appointments for getting my gown figured out and visiting a bunch of sponsors. And I don't know, it's really just been so crazy prepping for Miss America. It still hasn't sunk in that I'm going to Miss America a little bit. So yeah, I think the prep will really start to kick up this week though.
Yeah, I love it. And like you mentioned, you've only been crowned for a week and some change. So, I want to know what your favorite appearance is, but if it needs to be like I'm excited for, that's cool too. But just favorite appearance that you've done so far or one that you're looking forward to.
So I just did my first appearance as Miss Montana, which I guess is my favorite because I've only really done the one. But it was crazy to hear people say, "Oh my gosh, that's Miss Montana," because it was still sinking in for me. But I'm really looking forward to an appearance I have tomorrow, and I'm going to something called Lunch on the Lawn, and it's put on by Emerson and Bozeman, and they are all about music education um, in our community. So I'm really excited for that to tie in with my CSI and really get the ball rolling on partnering with companies and people in my community that support
Yeah.
my.
And I mean, as your year as Miss Montana progresses, you're gonna probably visit every single corner of your state. So I want to know what your favorite thing about Montana is.
Montana is huge for one, so it's going to be a lot of driving for me. But I'm really excited to explore the whole state. I would say my favorite thing about Montana, it has to be our landscape. It You really can't beat how beautiful the Big Sky State is. In Bozeman, I'm surrounded by, I believe it's four mountain ranges, which is crazy and it's just beautiful. And I mean, I think the people in Montana are just as beautiful as its landscape, but I think that's my favorite thing about Montana.
I love it. And our final question, if you could give one piece of advice to a girl competing at Miss Montana next year, what would it be?
Oh, I think I'd have to say enjoy the moment because of course I competed to win. I wanted this title, but what keeps me coming back to this organization is the sisterhood. And I really just encourage girls to take that moment in because there really is nothing like it. There really is nothing like being surrounded by a bunch of strong and capable women who are all working to empower each other. And I'm so excited to get that at Miss America. I'm very excited to meet the other contestants, but a little part of me is sad that after this, my journey with that sisterhood it's not over, but I don't get to keep coming back and competing. Um, but I mean, really, I think that that's definitely what you should enjoy the most and the best advice I can give someone.
I remember my first year competing. That was the advice that the outgoing Miss Texas, Avery Bishop, gave us. She was like, obviously I'm thrilled to have been Miss Texas, but now I don't ever get to experience that side again. Like I'm done.
Mhm.
It's something that I didn't realize beforehand. So I think that's such great advice for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kaylee, for coming on and chatting with us about you and your title and all the things you've been doing. And just know that we'll be rooting you on this year.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course. And I'll see the rest of you guys on our next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.